Bi-Conics fans, welcome tonight to a very different yet very the same Bro, the Bi-Conics review of Honor, here with Jesse, with Andrew, and with Adolfo, who's joining us.
Honor!
The Rampage and Collision reviews. We dragged you down to our level here, Adolfo. Are you happy to be joining us for Ring of Honor?
Hey, did you all know?
Not down.
Did you all know that there's this new wrestling show called Ring of Honor, and it's really good? Did you know?
No. Should we actually look into it for the podcast? Should we actually
watch
this?
We should totally look into it.
I'll let Mikey know when Mikey's back from sabbatical.
I think I've heard about this show because they defend their titles on AEW, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's where those silly belts come from.
Yeah.
Well, before we jump into that, Adolfo, since you haven't been here for this, and obviously you don't watch the product, we got to stick our hands in here because we have to observe the Code of Honor at the beginning of our Bi-Conic Review of Honor. Good job, everybody. And before we get into the show itself, a little housekeeping here. In order to keep things like this new Ring of Honor thing that Adolfo has just discovered and allowing us to review this here on the channel itself, we would love it if you could give us a subscribe, give us a like, drop a comment down there to get our engagement up so that people can actually see our videos, and, you know, get the alert bell going so you can see new videos coming out almost every day. And if you're a true super fan, and I know there's like 2 of you out there, we would love for you to join our Patreon, which is going to be in the link below as well, for some extra special content, live watch-alongs, uncut, and, you know, Jesse's thoughts on Bray Wyatt. So it's a lot of great stuff you can pick up that way, and they're all good thoughts, trust me. But we would really love to have you join our family even more. Maybe you'll show up on the podcast one day. That's how half of us got this job. Anyhow, this was coming to us. This is Ring of Honor from North Carolina, right down the street from where Sting's last match is going to end up happening. We have a jam-packed show tonight, and but I want to get Adolfo's thoughts first. Adolfo, having never watched Ring of Honor and kind of coming into it quickly, did you feel like match to match to match you understood how the rules of the matches went, why people did certain things, or was this kind of like alien to you on how they were, like, you know, wrestling on a wrestling show?
So, yeah, you know, did I recognize any special rules or this, that, the other? No. Did I watch a really great wrestling show? Yes. And that's what was important to me, so much so that I was like, Alice, you know, next time I watch Ring of Honor, we're going to sit down, we're going to watch it together. Because it was great. It was wrestling. You know, the promos didn't linger. It was entertaining. It was entertaining. There was not one moment where I looked down on my watch and was like, when is this going to be over?
Us watching it, having watched it now for over almost a year straight, this was also a very entertaining episode of it. So you caught a good episode to kind of jump in on, which is kind of fun. But we started off right off the bat very quickly with a quick little squash match with Zack Knight, the new kind of not hire yet, but just like brought in as a kind of mercenary thing, brother of Saraya, taking on John Cruz, who's an original ROH before they got bought up by AEW. He's known for now being the most memed man in the world.
That's right. Fellow Boricua.
Exactly. And he's been memed for taking the most ungodly shot of Samoa Joe's nope spot, where he was in the air looking like, really? You can't stand here?
I didn't make that connection until just now.
Yep, that was John Cruz.
That was John Cruz, yep.
What did you all think of this opening match? Was it kind of a fun little squash?
I thought it was just going to be a straight squash, but it wasn't. I thought it over-delivered for the match. I thought it was really good, well-worked, well-performed. Again, better than expected. That stalling suplex that Zack Knight did was just like textbook pure stalling suplex. It was perfect, and I'd like to see more of him. And his finish, the Nightfall, it's very cool. It's got a cool setup with that crucifix buckle bomb. Yeah, I want to see more of Zack Knight.
Yep.
Yeah, it was. I thought this was really fun. I thought it was interesting that John Cruz was pulling double duty on today's show, so that was kind of fun to see his 2 personas wrestle. And is this news to you, Jesse?
Yes. What did I miss?
John Cruz is Serpentico.
Yes.
What?
Whoa!
Right?
Yeah. Because for a while on AEW,
I genuinely did not know that.
Yeah. I also
you all might be taking the piss from me, but I did not know that.
No. I also found out that one of his other ring names was last name Dejo, first name Ben. He's the most entertaining guy to watch get beat up, which is why it was so fun to see him with Luther. that distance that Zack Knight got on that middle turnbuckle moonsault was incredible. I hope they sign Zack Knight because I like what they've been doing with him, and I think he'd be a really cool addition to Ring of Honor.
Basically, yes. So him as Serpentico is a great thing there because he knows these wrestlers inside and out to begin with. So it's great to see him be able to work a style where he can actually use his facial expressions as well as his bodily movements. It's very fun.
The match was great. Zack, what was Zack
Knight?
Zack Knight. Did you all know that he was Saraya's brother?
Yes. I think we gathered that from commentary a couple times.
I think there's a movie about it too.
Yeah.
And I did my research. I looked on Wikipedia because nobody can lie on there. It is true.
You're right. Had you not said that it was a squash match, that was the other surpriser. I wouldn't have known that this was a squash match. This was a great beginning match. Kudos to him for being. I don't want to say that he's a jobber, but like every time I've seen him wrestle, he's lost. But he's done it so well. He really lifted up Saraya's brother, and even in the loss, looked really, really good, really, really strong. Like he knew what he was doing, So yeah, it was a great first match, and it got me pumped for more.
Which is always great for that. I liken John Cruz / Serpentico to being like the modern day Brooklyn Brawler. He's a really good technician in the ring, but he's going to lose every match he's in, and he is, but he's going to make you look good. But we moved on from that to another. We had back-to-back matches. This was amazing. Yeah. We had this was definitely a squash though. This was Tony Nese taking on Marcus Cross, who is a local talent there. And Tony is what's going on?
All of you.
Yes,
I'm frustrated with all of you, including all of our viewers. You've been treating Tony Nese so poorly lately. I didn't get in my group workout.
Are you feeling bloated?
I'm feeling bloated. Yeah. I'm feeling tired. I'm sore. I'm feeling very compressed. Like I'm not stretched out. I need my group training. So start being nicer to Tony Nese. Adolfo, you get a pass. This was your first night.
No. He made fun of Bojangles. Fine. He made fun of Cheerwine. That's why I draw wine.
Yeah, he's gonna get in the cheap heat.
I really want to hope that Tony Nese in real life is like the friendliest, like just doesn't judge people at all, and it's just like super cool. So he's not like this persona. And I hope we get to see more depth in this because I would like to see him grow past this kind of like trope. I did really like the fact that he hit that finish like it was like so sudden, and I think that really helped make it feel like okay, Tony Nese is serious.
I actually would not be surprised if. Because again, I've seen Tony Nese before, but I've seen him on AEW. I saw him get wrecked by Miro in Collision. I feel that he could get a push. You know what I mean? Because like y'all pointed out, his mat sensibility is fantastic. Those moves that he pulled off looked really, really good, especially working with a hometown jobber type situation. So I can only see him getting a push toward for hopefully his chance at one of the ROH belts.
He will definitely be someone that as he grows as a competitor in the ROH setup, he'll definitely be set up to be that next at least mid-card title holder, if not anything before, which we got to see next. The mid-card title, which is being defended. I was very excited to see this one because it was Kyle Fletcher, the current champion, taking on Angelico. And unfortunately, I have to say Angelico because he has told commentary there, Adolfo, that is how he wants it pronounced. Since he's South African, that's what he wants. So
okay,
I'm going with the pronunciation, but this was for the TV title. And two lithe, lanky, big men just tearing each other apart. And the knee work he was doing to Fletcher was insane.
Yeah.
I have a question. Andrew, who else is Angelico? When he puts on a mask, who is he? Because I can't do two bombshells in one night.
It's Black Taurus.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
he deflates himself to be Angelico.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I liked this match. I really did. I thought it was well worked. There was a lot of some brutal spots. I'm really excited to see the mid-card title present and being defended. That's very exciting for me. I'm a little confused about the placement of this match. I don't think it should have been third I would have liked this match to go longer. I feel like they could have done a really good job if they'd been given more time.
Angelico has one of the best ankle lock setups. How he sets that up and locks it in, like it's just one of those things where I'm like, that looks like something you couldn't get out of.
It was a fantastic match. The technicality of both wrestlers, I was totally amazed. And again, kind of like we covered, I was like, why is this match like in the middle of the show? This is a great match. Dare I say, that match could have been put on a pay-per-view as, say, a 0 hour or like first or second match, because that's how well I thought those two wrestlers performed. I will say, however, Kyle Fletcher, if you're listening, representing the Don Callis family, but not using the Don Callis theme song, nor having Renaissance painting. Explain, Kyle Fletcher. Explain.
I can help here. If he played the brown note too long with the amount of baby oil he had on, he was going to shit himself as he went out. So
fair. Okay. I did notice that. I was like, wow, you're extra shiny tonight, Kyle.
On the front, when he got in the ring, his back was not shiny. I was like, wow, okay, someone just got sprayed with baby oil walking through the curtain.
It's because his tag team partner's not there, so he had to do it himself.
Mark Davis, your one job you got to do while you're injured is to put the baby oil on his back.
No, all I'm seeing is Kyle Fletcher coming out, kind of like with the Goldberg Pirate, but instead of sparks, it's just baby oil.
This was an amazing match. I actually don't believe this could have been our main event for the night.
Yes.
And it would have been a lot of fun.
It should have been, in my opinion.
Unfortunately so. But we moved on from there to our first promo of the night, and oh my God, I got Dalton Castle on my TV screen. And Adolfo, if you haven't seen from any of the Tough Online, Dalton is spiraling. Lexi had to find him backstage. He was in the downstairs loading area, apparently sleeping in a touring case.
With slices of cheese in his jumpsuit?
Of course.
I couldn't handle this. I barely paid attention to the promo. I was so distracted by him keep pulling snacks out of his jumpsuit and eating them. It was beautiful. It was so good.
And he asks Lexi to set up a match for him because he can't do it. It's like, that's not my job. I don't know. It was so real and yet so heightened. And this is just a perfect way to be silly in wrestling.
And the face Lexi made when he pulls the cheese out and goes like this to her, like, do you want a piece?
Well, and when she pulls it up, she almost broke. She almost broke when she ended it. She couldn't keep it together.
Warm.
The two of them together is so good. It was so good. When he's in the, just turn me. Just turn me.
Just turn me.
Not that way. Not that way.
So good. So good.
Well, and this was also, like, not to spoil too much, this was like setting up Lexi for the night. She was so much fun tonight. But either way, I love this setting up the feud. I love this continuing to get us with no matches we're getting between Johnny, Taya Valkyrie, and also Taya Valkyrie, and then also with Dalton Castle. Like, we have to get this set up somehow. This is perfect. And Adolfo, did you enjoy meeting Dalton Castle in a giant?
Yeah, that was my first experience with Dalton Castle. I loved it. It was great promo. We were going to drag you back to watch some of his matches. Like, go back and watch his stuff in the last couple of episodes leading to the end of the year. He is spectacular. I will. Yeah. Definitely, I will.
Theater kid in wrestling trunks.
Excellent.
But we went from there right away. Oh, go ahead, Andrew. Go.
Oh, no. Sorry, that was a deep breath for my cold.
Well, then what I'm going to do is let Jesse set us up for the next match here, because you spoke to one of these men to confirm they were in this tonight.
I did, actually. I'm lucky enough to have Vincent from The Righteous. He actually will respond to me on Instagram every now and then.
Wow.
And I told him we missed him last week, and he told me this week, and that's all he said. And so we have our next match, The Righteous versus the Dawsons, twin brothers who don't look like twins, but that's what they're saying.
Dave and Zane Dawson. Big beefy boys.
Yeah, we're big. Yep, big beefy North Carolina boys.
Huge.
They drink their cheer wine. They drink their cheer wine.
They do.
And they probably had
their Bojangles.
They were the big boss men.
Yep.
I really liked seeing the heels, two heel tag teams, use heel tactics against each other, because it was fun watching two people kind of be, both sides being underhand. But I thought the quick turnaround when Dutch entered and to see him like put down these two other big guys was like, yeah, that's what we needed to see from the Righteous, and I love how strong this made them look.
I loved this. I loved this match just because because the last few Righteous matches have just been Vincent. Like Vincent's been doing all the work, getting everything done. Dutch has been there and still been doing a great job, but it's been focused on Vincent. This time we saw Vincent get pretty much obliterated, got the hot tag, and Dutch went off. And that lariat he threw would make Stan Hansen proud. Holy, that was just a great lariat. I love this match. You had mark the time because I cursed there. But still, I like this match. I like to see that Vincent was able to get in such a state, and he's smiling about it, like he's happy because he enjoys that. And then after the match, the misery spot, I'm going to break his ankles with the board.
Yeah.
I love seeing stuff like that. It brings me into it. It brings me into their character work, and it convinces me that, hey, they're really into this. And I have to make a comment. I know I mentioned this earlier offline, but that vest that Vincent was wearing down to the ring, I made a comment. I said to him, like, hey, that vest was really cool. Is that new? And he said to me, he actually made that, and he's been making his stuff. So that's really cool to me. Like, that's awesome. Another level of talent there.
Yeah, I love
it was... So, again, the Righteous is another team that I've seen on AEW mainly. And I do know, I remember in one of our shows, I can't remember which one in the past, but with everything that happened with the devil and all that, someone had said, and I can't remember who, that they were afraid that was going to bury the Righteous.
That was probably me.
Right. It might have been. I haven't seen them though. In this match, I disagree because number one, like when I saw them, I was like, oh, that's the Righteous. I know them from AEW, but actually being able to see what they could do, and this further characterization of them, I was like, wow, I really enjoy them. So, I really liked that, that outfit that he was wearing with the flowers and how it tied into the board. And like, I'm intrigued by that board. Like, are we? And I kind of wish they would have let them use the board on the dude. And I guess because it's ROH that's not allowed, but like I'm intrigued by that because like we were talking off screen about how it's very like midsummer, like creepy, happy, culty thing. So like that board, like what does it do? Is it like like is it the urn from the Undertaker, and oh yes, you control, is it like head? Is it like just Hacksaw Jim Duggan's 2x4, just a piece of wood? Like what is
all of them at once?
Yes. Look at it. I want to know.
It's like Mae Young's child. Anyhow,
it's Mae Young's here. What?
I do have to say that I really like from the Righteous what they've set up in the dichotomy of they're in all white. Obviously Vincent has some colors, but they're like purples and pinks and browns, and then you have the flowers, and even the block itself had the pink and purple flowers going around it. And so there are these really pretty, inviting colors and images and all of this stuff, and that just plays so well into this like cultish mentality to where you're like, I should look at all of these things and feel comfort, but I look at them and I don't, and that makes it more uncomfortable.
Yeah, and their intro music when they come down and the snapping, and the one is snapping and the other one's just walking. Yeah, it's good. It's good. They got me hooked.
Midsummer meets Jim Jones. It's very, very interesting in that respect.
Yep.
So they come back for more because the Righteous are finally on their way. What we talked about before, the reason why we were worried about it is because with MJF going super person on them at Full Gear and beating them as one person for the ROH titles, they got buried on AEW. So we were worried that they were going to continue to do that. But no, they have definitely found their way back up to it.
Well, I mean, they've got a title match Saturday.
Exactly. At Battle of the Belts.
Yeah.
They're going to lose it, but it's okay.
Yeah.
At least they're still in the title picture. I'm happy with that.
Yeah. And then fighting the Kingdom is going to be a lot of fun. But we move on from that squash, because it was a squash of two big guys, to Shane Taylor Productions backstage with Lexi. And yeah, I've seen some kind of divided promos. I've seen some teams that don't gel, and I've seen some teams that are kind of like two different energy levels try to do something like this. My God, guys.
This was horrific. Stop sugarcoating it. This was a bad promo.
Shane Taylor could rip me apart. I'm trying to be nice. Okay, just in case you know Vincent.
Well, he doesn't know where we live.
Yet.
Where's your boss's address?
Thanks. Anyhow, they're delivering a thing saying why they're taking on the infantry tonight to show the infantry we have beat you multiple times. We are better than you, and yet we haven't pinned you yet. That's their motivation for having the main event tonight.
We're the real military people, even though we're military. I was never enlisted.
Yeah,
what?
Yeah. I think the best part of this interview was Lexi's reaction to Lee Moriarty going, "Oh, it's a 2 out of 3 falls. That means we get paid 3 times, right?" And she was like,
"Yeah." She's like,
"No, that's not how that works."
Yeah. Yeah, the best part of this was Lexi. Everything else was we could have skipped this. And I have other feelings about Shane Taylor Promotions when we get to their match later. But yeah, this was definitely a weak point for me.
I thought it could have stayed. You could have tossed it. It did its thing. I was like, okay, you guys are wrestling later. I recognize y'all. Boom. And it didn't get me like. I mean, by this point, I was already invested in the show, right? So this spot, I feel that the one positive about the spot, which I had said earlier, is that it was pretty much short and to the point. You know what I mean? They didn't like linger on like a lot of AEW promos tend to do. But yeah, I mean, they could have kept it. They could have left it either or, whatever. It was. And we can move on quickly from it because, again, this was the night of Lexi doing her amazingness in all the promos. That's what we were there for. That's what we come back for, is Lexi Nair. As we've said, Adolfo, many times, Lexi and Renee are two of the best in the business. And then you add in Caprice and Riccaboni on commentary, and you have the best team you have in wrestling across the board, any promotion. But we went there to my match of the night. This was my match of the night. I know there were better ones and more technically sound ones or anything else, but the pure comic storytelling of the Iron Savages versus the Boys was brilliance. The Iron Savages got a win. Jack Jameson interrupting commentary was hysterical, and I could watch these two squash the Boys all day long, and I probably will get in trouble on some websites for that. Either way.
I think, speaking of in trouble on some websites, I loved when they did the close-up, because there's a couple of dynamic camera things today. Close-up of Kitty City. To me, that was absolutely hilarious.
You could tell what color auburn his hair was.
Yes.
And I think it was Caprice who said, "I smelled that Savage sauce. It smells like chocolate-flavored gasoline."
Yeah.
Jameson was trying to get him to drink it.
But I've got nothing else to add. This was a great match. This was a lot of fun for me.
I love...
No, wait, one more thing to add. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Motor is scary strong.
Oh, yeah.
To be able to hold both of them like that and then slam them at once.
But not just hold him, but have a guy up in a power bomb and then catch a crossbody.
Yeah.
That extra momentum, that's insane. He's so strong.
He's also done that with someone in a fireman's carry as well, so have it on your back while you're trying to go backwards to catch someone. He's insane.
I loved the fusion of the Boys to square off with Boulder at the beginning, the on the shoulders, and
Master
crazy.
Blaster.
Yeah, it's so good. I was looking it up because I was thinking about Jack Jameson and some of the things that we had talked about in the past when he's actually been active in the ring. I didn't realize he didn't debut until 2021. So he's only been doing this for 3 years, maybe, depending on when he started. But I thought this match was a lot of fun, and the fact that we just saw this match, 2 or 3 weeks ago with a different outcome. Watching this whole match, I never felt like we already seen this before. It was entertaining. It continued the entertainment, and it brought in new forms of entertainment into this match. So yeah, these teams it's another example of why Ring of Honor has such a great tag team division.
It really is. They're definitely getting the focus there. Adolfo, Are you now converted? Do you want to go get some Savage sauce and go pump some iron with us?
Yo, I am all about the Savage sauce and the pumping of the iron. Yeah. Yeah, again, Iron Savages, I know from Rampage, and I liked them in Rampage, but I don't know. It's like someone was like, okay, you can actually do the thing. Go do the thing. Because it was, wow. Yeah. Just like some of the things they did, and the boys too. The boys were super, it was super entertaining. It was super, yeah, it was goofy wrestling. It was good goofy wrestling. Yeah, I just there were a few spots that I was just, wow. But that spot where he had the one dude in the power bomb and then caught the other dude, that just I was like, whoa. It was amazing. So yeah, it was good.
Never not entertaining. Never not entertaining when the Iron Savages are on screen. Kind of like the next match, which is again surprising to us because pulling double duty, as we just found out at the beginning of this thing, was Serpentico.
No.
I know. Taking on Cole Carter, and I'm using his full name. He got an entrance with, generic music 7. He had his gear on, so we remembered to put his gear on. And we all, I think, believe, oh, this is going to be a kind of a general match. He's going to end up winning, but nothing weird's going to happen about this because they kept saying Griff's not there, Maria's not there.
Wrong.
No. Mama's Boys came out, and Griff went full heel.
Yes.
It was great. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You do not like this at all. We know this week to week you do not like this.
I think that's why I like it more.
I liked Cole Carter in this role. I liked him because they didn't let him talk. So big when you listened on that advice. Great job there. This match was so well worked. It didn't need the schmaz. It didn't need that ending. I think it would have been better to have Cole Carter go out and prove that, hey, he's not just the idiot little brother, which you coined, and he kind of plays that role well. But, hey, he can win a match on his own. I don't agree with the schmaz decision, but I'm probably the minority here in that.
I love the development that we're getting to see here of Cole Carter and Griff Garrison. I feel like Griff Garrison, they're the popular jock-style kids that probably pick on and beat on the other students that they're around. Garrison is the big, strong guy that beats up other people because he knows he can, and or thinks he's better. Cole Carter does it to prove probably a lot to himself that he is better than other people. It's like he's compensating for his, insecurities, and I like that dynamic between the two of them. And I really enjoyed Maria and Garrison coming out because, for me, when I saw that happen, I was like, why don't more people do this? Why, if you have if Diamante is having trouble, Mercedes Martinez coming down and helping. If you have a stable, having them come out and help. And I thought it really did progress that story with Garrison really becoming that heel and kind of becoming the more alpha of the two of them. And obviously we're going to progress with Spanish Announce Project and the Mama's Boys facing off against each other again. So I thought this was fun. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I thought the match was a lot of fun as well. Did we need the schmaz? Being this being my first ROH, when the schmaz happened, it hooked me. So they had it. They did a it was a plus there. So when I watch next week, I hope that there's a furtherment of the story. It felt very old school 80s. I'm gonna say it. WWF. With
the Heenan family?
Yeah, the Heenan family. Was Medusa with the Heenan family?
No, she was with Paulie Dangerously's
Dangerous
Alliance.
Yeah. It felt like that. It felt like that, and I had fun with it. So, but I haven't seen the story up to now. So, that's That's where my angle's coming from.
We've had some thoughts on that because it started very weird and very kind of bad, and it's evolved into something maybe slightly palatable for Jesse. The rest of us are enjoying it.
Yeah.
I will also say I really enjoyed Angelico not running down to the ring with the chair. He's like slowly meandering, and then just sets it up for Serpentico to sit in. It's just so good. You don't have to defend. Not everyone.
No, I'm not here to defend myself. God knows I'm not good at that. No, I had a thought on this. Is I will go back and change my mind on this moment if later down the line, when the Mama's Boys eventually implode, they use this as a cornerstone for Cole Carter turning face. I could have done this myself. You didn't need to come out and interfere and prove to Griff Garrison that I could have done this, and then they go on to have a match.
Right. So basically, the older brother, I don't need you to fight my battles for me.
Yeah. So if that happens later on down the line, I will come back to this date and be like, hey, I was wrong.
Writing this down in the ledger here, so when that happens, you can actually come on and give us our apology.
The ledger of
honor. I'm just going to admit being wrong.
There you go. We'll get to that then. But we move on from there to another wonderful comic promo where we had a revelation that Johnny TV's last initials are Taya Valkyrie. Because why the hell not?
Well, it's for the TV title.
Exactly, the Taya Valkyrie title.
Taya Valkyrie title, yeah.
Before we jump into breaking down their acronyms, abbreviated names, what have you, the best line in this whole promo was the throwaway line that the mic barely picked up when Johnny TV said he smells like cheese to Lexi. And Lexi's like, yeah, I'm down. I was talking with Dalton Castle. It smells like cheese. Yeah. Like that was the best part of this.
And she played up just enough to try to amp herself up to ask for a match, knowing it's not her job to do so.
Yeah.
Taya just being insane. This is just, it's a great rebuttal to the insanity that Dalton Castle's putting out there. It's layering it on top of each other like a casserole made of cheese.
The lasagna.
Yes. Yep.
Good.
Yep. Go ahead, Hank.
I love Taya Valkyrie and Johnny TV being in Ring of Honor. They're such a great addition with both their experience and the skill, like on the mic and in the ring that they bring. I hope we get them in Ring of Honor for a long time. They're so good, and I'm here for this Dalton Castle Johnny TV feud for a long, long time.
Yeah, again, Taya Valkyrie is one of the wrestlers that I know from AEW. And last year, when we were talking about ROH and whatnot, and I was told that Taya Valkyrie primarily wrestles in ROH, I was like, that's when I was like, okay, I got to start watching ROH, because it seems like a lot of the wrestlers that I enjoy are on ROH. And from social media, I know that her and Johnny TV are a couple. But again, I know
revelations.
Oh, really? You didn't?
No, I'm kidding.
Okay. I was like, did I do a thing? Anyway. And I knew, again, Johnny TV, I only know from AEW with the QTV stuff, and he was such a, I hate to say it, throwaway character with that I was just kind of like, who is this schmuck? In this one promo made me care about Johnny TV. So, and then of course later on in the match, not to get ahead of myself, it made me even care even more about Johnny TV. So, yeah, I'm excited to see if Johnny TV takes this match with Dalton Castle. I'm excited to see if they throw cheese at each other. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm so excited. So excited.
It's a nacho bar match.
Oh, could you imagine if they put like the nacho cheese dispensers on either side of the ring and like, it would be
Nacho Man Randy sandwich match.
Nacho.
Can I take just a moment,
please,
to compliment you, Adolfo, on the amount of vitriol you were able to get behind your word choice and delivery of schmuck was like Maggie Smith level. That was amazing.
I gotta say, Adolfo, if you really like Johnny TV or Johnny, fill in your last name here, and Taya, you should check out some Lucha Underground.
Oh yeah, Johnny Mundo there, and Taya Valkyrie, La Güera Loca. She's getting back to that feel in ROH again. La Güera Loca. She's finally looking at that. So We go then from a wonderful promo to a 4-way survival match. Jesse already has taken the glasses off. I don't have to get into anything else except who is in this match. You get to start us off. Lady Frost took on Trisha Dora, Queen Aminata, and Diamante in this. And go.
The Lady Frost powerbombed onto Diamante. Good spot. The rest? The Shane Taylor Promotions, Productions, whatever promo was longer than this match.
Yeah.
What are we doing? This was our first women's match of the night, and that's what happens? Come on.
Yep.
I will say the right person won.
Yeah. I mean, yes, clearly. I'm not going to deny that.
Fair.
Right.
Especially because Queen Aminata is wrestling at Hikaru Shida tonight on Rampage, so she's going to get the L tonight.
Right.
So it was nice seeing her get that W. Jesse, though, I agree with you. You know, you could have the two promos for the infantry and the ST whatever match. You could have tossed both those promos out and made that women's match longer, because that was a wasted opportunity. Go ahead, Andrew. Go ahead, and I'll continue.
Oh no, continue if you got stuff to go.
Yeah, no, again, like Lady Frost is one of those wrestlers that I saw in AEW. I heard they're on ROH, and I wanted to follow them. And I like this 4-corner, like, cool, awesome. This is gonna go like 20 minutes. There's gonna be like lots of like back and forth. Give it to me. Give it to me. Let me see these ladies get at it. This was my disappointment of the night. Not for their performance. They did a great performance.
It was an awesome 24 seconds they had.
Exactly.
It stretched out to a whole season though with Kiefer Sutherland.
Okay,
Andrew, go right ahead. Andrew, go for it.
I was really excited because at the start of this card, when they the night when they showed all the matches that were coming up, I really liked the fact that there were matches that had reasons. There was a title match. We had people progressing stories. This match was set up to be, a big lead-in to the television title match, or for the new women's television title. It felt like other matches were in that same boat, kind of establishing people who are going to be moving up in the division. So it would have been nice to have seen more from each of these performers, because they're all really strong performers. I think getting to see each of them work with one of the other person, like getting to all to see to work individually and see those dynamics change was awesome. Would have been awesome. And I really hope that Queen Aminata gets more of a push in Ring of Honor. I think she's a great addition to it, and I know she's been kind of all over wrestling, and so she comes in with a worldly experience, even in the shorter career that she's had. But all 4 of these are great staples in Ring of Honor's women's roster.
Andrew, thank you for reminding me that was the other thing that frustrated me, is that they were hyping up the women's TV title with this match, and like Jesse said, it was 24 seconds. And it's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Okay, so there we go.
Which kills me on this, because normally, as Jesse and Andrew and I can all attest to, the women have been a humongous focus on ROH for the last year or so.
Not this night.
Not tonight, which was killing me on this.
And we'll get there.
We will. But again, Rodolfo, I would say go back and watch some older episodes. You can see amazing stuff getting to this. We then got a long-lost Josh Woods, who's been gone since last year, taking on local talent LeBron, I think it was Karane. And Kozone. My writing terrible. LeBron Kozone. I'm so sorry. This was a full-on squash for Josh Woods to come back and get his win back, and he tore him apart.
It was a squash. It was very quick, but it needed to be to reestablish Josh Woods' dominance, and I'm so happy to see him out there without Mark Sterling.
Yes.
He does not need him. Just let him wrestle.
I will say I was happy to see both Nice and Josh Woods out there without Mark Sterling. I just feel like we need something fresh from all 3 of those people. And so I'm hoping that that's a sign that we're going to see some distance there, at least with Woods, because Woods is like his name says, he's a beast. Let him just go be a beast, and I cannot wait for Woods to be back in that pure title shot picture. Him versus Yuta would be awesome to see for that title. And Woods is just that kind of performer that you could put that title on him and he could just dominate people.
100% on that. Josh Woods is made for the pure division. That's what he's there for. So let's get him back to that area. And Adolfo, this is probably one of your first time seeing Josh Woods in at least a while. Did you get everything you need to know out of what they gave you from this squatch?
Everything I need to know. Everything I need to know. He's a beast. He knows how to make people submit. He knows how to crush people.
And he's very good at it.
Right, and he's good at it. And it was entertaining. For as short of a squash match as it was still entertaining, you know. So kudos to the jobber that he wrestled with, talent. Yeah, kudos to him because he sold it, you know. And I'm excited, and I hope, like we said, you know, let's set that up against Wheeler Yuta. I would love to see him just run over Wheeler Yuta and just like.
They were also building him to him and Shibata last year, so seeing him take on Shibata and that to get to Yuta would be even better at that point.
Yeah.
But we then move on from that little bit of squash to what else we talked about. The other rebuttal promo from the infantry. Again, Lexi carrying her load. She was amazing in this. And these two usually are very good in their promos. They know each other very well. They're very charismatic. This was a nothing promo. This was complete nothing.
This was confused. It didn't even seem like the infantry I've been watching for what, almost a year now. I was like, who are these two? It didn't even sound like them. It just sounded like they were gifted a promo. Here, read this, and they chewed it up and spat it out, and that was it.
It kind of felt like, especially these performers, infantry and Shane Taylor Promotions, it almost felt like we were coming back from the holiday break. And they were just like, oh, I have to get back into the swing of things. Like, it's just, we've been away for a few weeks, so I'm a little rusty.
Wait, I forget what I actually do here.
It's a new year. It's been a year. I haven't done much since last year, really. It's.
Yeah, I said earlier my feelings. You know, I would have much preferred those two promos get cut out and made that the woman's stuff fatal 4.
Go right to the next match with Robin Renegade versus Taya Valkyrie.
Speaking of too short of a match.
Yeah. Well, and also, so this I was torn on this for two things, because Taya Valkyrie took on Robin Renegade with Johnny Taya Valkyrie at ringside. And basically, it was interesting to see, like, they even brought this up that they had the Renegades had tagged with Taya last week, and they seem to be working as good as a faction. So now she's turned and is taking on Robin. But at the same time, if this is going to be a way to set up them as beaten down minions of Taya and having to deal with her crazy moods she's dealing with, yeah, wholeheartedly have her beat up the Renegades every week. But still, it's hysterical to have that there. But I enjoyed what they did. I enjoyed the physicality and the character work. And Johnny Taya Valkyrie was insane at ringside. I just wanted more.
Yeah.
It was too short. The match delivered in the small time that they gave them. I'm going to reserve my judgment on the outcome of this match because I'm a big stan of the Renegades and they keep losing, with the exception of the one I didn't get to review.
Yeah, so don't review on the
But if they develop, but I wanted a little more story progression development at the end of the match. We didn't have that. I'm hoping maybe next week we have Charlotte versus Taya, and then we have the two of them in a row have lost, and we develop and go with the story from there and have them form, and I'd be great with that. So I kind of want to see where this goes first.
Yeah, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go. No, you first, please.
Oh, no, you first. You hang up first.
It's easier because we're in the same room. So
Yeah.
that's the problem.
I do have to say, for as short as it was, I've liked this in the past with experienced performers, like when the Renegades have faced like Athena and some of the other folks that have much more ring experience than they do. In this match, Robin got to show how she's improved, and she got a chance to do some work against Taya, and so it felt like it was like they were working together, and it was like Taya was like, yeah, we're gonna go out and have a match and progress my story, but we're also giving you a chance to get that ring experience, in the behind the scenes things. I would love to see the Renegades kind of fall in line with Taya, because I think she could be a great figurehead for them. She's got such good experience. Her style mixes really well with theirs. And with things that came up later in the night, it just made me, I've talked about this before, but I would love for Ring of Honor to have a women's tag team division. And they would be a great, starters of that division. I have to say, I did not realize that Taya's finisher is called the Shania Pain. It's so good.
That's new as if this week.
That was lovely.
Yeah, it was. That was awesome. I love that, and Taya needs to be in the world or television title picture.
Yes. Yeah, I was super happy that I got to see Taya Valkyrie. Like I had said earlier, I am hooked with the whole Taya Valkyrie Johnny TV. They have such great chemistry. It was great to see it, flow over into the ring. I thought it was really sweet when Taya won that Johnny, gave her a kiss in the ring. I thought that was sweet. It don't know. It just it worked well. It worked well for me. And what was it? Robin Renegade?
Robin Renegade, yep.
Yes. You see, again, the match, for as short as it was, should have gave them more time, but I now recognize that's Robin Renegade. She looked really good against Taya Valkyrie. I want to see more, I fear, because Taya and Johnny have this whole unhinged TV persona thing going, not ready for TV. I fear that they might mimic Toni Storm's shtick a little bit, and then the minions that come in under them will be Toni Storm and
Mariah May.
Where Mariah's Tony, you watch? Did you see me, Tony? So I fear and hope that they don't, if they do bring minions under them, that they don't fall into that trope.
Yeah.
I would be very interested, though. I would be very interested if Taya and Johnny continue this crazy TV thing, right? And then Toni Storm continues this crazy Hollywood starlet thing, that they have a meeting of the crazies. You know what I mean?
TV versus film.
Yeah, TV versus film. It'd be. I was thinking about that, watching the match and watching the promo, and I was like, that might work. So that's just my lizard brain.
Love your lizard brain, Adolfo. We always love your lizard brain. I can see that happening. I think it's a bit different because Taya's personality is not as much as put on as Toni Storm. It's actually been kind of what she's had for her whole career. So having that there, it could be a little more realistic in it versus what Toni and Mariah are doing, which is always good to have.
Yep.
But then we go back to stage to another promo where we have Billy and Lexi get the night off. Athena's not there. The minions can play. They're going to play mini golf. It's going to be fun.
They have to.
Mini golf!
They had to play mini golf because Billy, as she told Lexi, is not old enough to go drinking and clubbing.
Yeah,
we'll go hit the clubs and pop bottles. I'd like to do that, Lexi, but I'm not old enough.
I loved the gear change in the middle between that and I'm still going to come and kick your ass and get that TV title.
Yes,
that's my title.
Yep. Now let's go play mini golf. Mini golf.
I also love the slight character changes that Lexi does between her interviews with everyone else and when she's with Athena and Billy. She's totally, when she's with them, she's 100% of that part of that faction. But then she can go and she can be a impartial, interviewer. And she's so good. It's so entertaining. And Billy, for as young as she is, I say this every week, she's phenomenal. It was so fun. This was up there with the Dalton Castle promo for me.
Okay.
Wasn't as good as Athena's for me, and we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Oh, yeah, I mean...
Was everybody happy to see Billy?
Oh yeah,
that was good. Billy Starks. I got a very brief introduction to Billy Starks on AEW, and then poof, I didn't know where she went. ROH. Hi, I hope to see more of Billy Starks on ROH, and yeah,
you will. She's pretty
Lexi,
prominent.
cool. Yeah, and her and Lexi worked really well, and yeah, it was good. This was good.
For Adolfo, for you, and
this promo could be kept in.
It needed to be kept in. And for Adolfo, Billy has had a year-long storyline with these folks, and it was never stale. They went through a whole thing with it that I can't get into here, but if you look back and find the highlights online somewhere getting into the Final Battle pay-per-view, her story has been ridiculously amazing, and the fact that she's not even 21 is crazy.
She's not even 20.
Almost feud of the year level.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah. And yeah, she's just turned 20.
Oh, so, that's right.
We transition out of that amazing promo to what should have been a very fun squash match. We were hoping it would be. Leyla Hirsch and Rachel Ellering are coming out together, working better without Maria there, taking on Brittany Jade and Emily Hale. And Emily Hale, I will say that at the top of this, overthought this and was like, oh, no, Rachel Ellering's twice your size. She's going to destroy you.
Yeah.
But I thought that the work in this match was pretty solid. Leyla Hirsch's springboard, like a drop kick in the face in the corner, looked full on. Like she didn't pull that thing. And there was a lot of work in this one that I really enjoyed. I do enjoy Leyla and Rachel as a tag team.
Yes.
I just don't know, like it just wasn't given time or anything else it needed to have.
It wasn't given time. This is the match that they needed last week as an introductory match, not a match to squash already established tag teams. This would have been better then, but you're kind of burying the lead here. The best part of this match was the ending, as we have Abaddon come out, kind of staking her claim of that TV title is mine.
I want Billy to win the title. I want Abaddon to beat Billy, and I want Abaddon to go and just have the wonderful life they need as they destroy everything in ROH. Because god damn it, I love spoopy wrestling and I love spoopy Abaddon.
And Ring of Honor is the place that I think Abaddon can shine, because they need to have that presence that we don't really have in Ring of Honor. Like they have, there's a lot of these people playing with the lights in AEW, and we don't have someone that's really doing that kind of stuff in Ring of Honor. And Abaddon is so good, and their character is so strong, and I feel like if anyone's going to have a monster champion that's going to be treated properly, Ring of Honor is the place where Abaddon's going to be able to shine in that. I did like that Rachel Ellering, even though she is the strong smile and the nice one and plays by the rules and all that kind of stuff, she turned on some meanness in this match, and it was like she could feed off of Leyla, and so the two of them together, like I said, if they make a tag team division, this is another tag team that I think could dominate it, because the work that these two can do together and their dynamics of both being tough women, like, and the differences in the types of tough women that they are is so good, and that they'd be such a dominant tag team.
I feel like that extra rotation on the Boss Woman Slam was brutal.
Oh, that was wow. Yeah.
She's got the, if you all go back and watch some of her matches too, she has that like teacher look where it's like, oh, come on. And then she beats the crap out of him like, no, I'm going to school you here. Also, didn't know you were a huge Rachel Ellering fan with your sign in the back there, Andrew, right there, because keep smiling, because you have to smile if you're a Rachel Ellering fan. I mean, come on. Adolfo, what did you take away from this? Because I know you probably didn't know everyone involved for the most part.
I didn't. The two women that won, I can't remember their names.
Rachel Ellering and Leyla Hirsch.
Rachel Ellering and Leyla Hirsch. I recognize them now. I might not remember their name. I'm terrible with names, but I recognize them now. I'm like, oh, hey, again, for a squash match, it told the story that it had to tell, and it was entertaining. And then, the Abaddon at the end, I was just like, Abaddon, right? And I actually was thinking, and I know like WWE does a lot of this, and like back in the day, the WWF, like with the Piper's Pit and the barber shop with Buddha Sparta Beefcake. How about if we do like an Abaddon's Pit or something like that? Where like they set up a little corner. There's like bubbling cauldrons and like whatnot.
Use what we've got here. She's riffing on Evil Dead here. Have her like come out of the basement, just like opens the thing, like crawls down.
And
she doesn't talk. They don't talk at all.
Yes.
That'd be the best way to interview that. So why did you show up here?
Yeah.
Abaddon's Abyss. There we go. There's the name of it.
No, no,
Yes.
bring Abyss back. Abyss is in WWE. No, we can't do that.
Oh, okay. But yeah, no, it was entertaining. You know, again, like I'm bummed that the women's matches got cut short. I know it was a squash match. The two jobbers that they got.
Oh, no. You don't need to justify it. You don't need to. I know. No. You can just say I'm bummed the women's matches were so short tonight, cumulatively, and I'll get there. But you don't need to justify it. You're right.
Good. The two jobbers that they had for this match. I don't know if y'all had this as well, but like I was like, wow, this must be like their first time on TV because they look really, really nervous.
They were scared before their names were said.
Yeah, and
Slow.
I will give them kudos. They had a great performance. If this was, ladies, if this was your first TV outing or internet out or whatever, kudos. Y'all did a great job because you sold it and you looked good. So
they held their own very well, kind of like the four guys in our next match. This would have been my match of the night, but I liked the storyline of the Iron Savages better but we had Gravity, who we have really enjoyed. This is the brother of Bandito, really very fun like that. Good luchador on that stuff.
Might actually be Angelico.
Could be Angelico.
Is it Andrew?
I don't think.
I'm not at liberty to say.
We have Blake Christian, and who's also could be Angelico. He just had become a ginger, but he's also really amazing. Slim J, an ROH original, who is as they said in commentary, innovator of so many moves. He is super fluid and really just goes all out for this stuff. And the new sensation on the block, who needs to be signed by ROH, Jack freaking Cartwheel.
Yes,
he turned the cartwheel into the most dangerous move in ROH.
It was fast, it was fluid, it was athletic. I knew looking at the four competitors, Blake Christian was going to win. He's been on a tear lately, but I enjoyed the journey of how we got there. Jack Cartwheel was absolutely clearly the highlight of the match. And do you know how stupid happy it made me to see the Texas Cloverleaf not only performed correctly, but performed as the finish.
In the center of the ring.
Yeah, WCW kid Dean Malenko, just
hell yeah,
so excited.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Take it back to WWF and Steve Austin using it against Bret Hart when he lost in that match too, because he got rid of the $1 Million Dream and took the Texas Cloverleaf from Guerrero.
Yeah, this match was so much fun. I hope, like you said, they signed Jack Cartwheel. I want to see him do so much more. Watching this whole match, I was like, what title is he going to win? Because he is so entertaining. All of the fundamentals of all of these performers was just spot on. They all bring a different style, but they work together really well. I thought there might be a chance that Gravity might pull this out because I'm still waiting to see when they're going to give Gravity a push, if they're going to. But there was so much innovation from everybody in this match, just hitting unique combos of moves or variations of moves. And like the way that they would chain things together between each of the competitors was great. And at the end, when Christensen won, I thought it showed, because he's kind of the vet in there. I mean, I guess Slim J's kind of, had a long career too, but he was smart enough to realize everybody else was out, locked in the submission, and got the win. And yeah, after Shawn Michaels, Dean Malenko's my second favorite, so I'm right there with you, Jesse. Yeah, seeing the Texas Cloverleaf, I'd be down to see Christensen lock that thing in for his, submission finisher as he moves up.
I'll tell you, this match was super entertaining. I definitely want to see more of Jack Cartwheel, but for all the wrestlers, this seemed like a live-action video game to me, and I loved it. Enough said.
Yeah, I mean, they were go from minute one. And honestly, this could have been our main event for the night and probably should have been, because after the next promo, the night went downhill. It kind of like petered out, which is not usually how it goes. They're usually really good about how they build their cards. But before we get to that, I want to get to Athena.
No, not that. I would rebuttal that, because a lot of times when we're reviewing this, we switch the main event. Like, we feel like another match should have been the main event.
but never in the fact of like, because of the end of the night still didn't have a good piece to it. Like, we would have switched like a certain match for the Luchador match, because the Luchador match could have brought the tempo up earlier in the night, because they usually end with a Luchador match or something big like that. This night just kind of went, it kind of down to
this essentially, and the next promo essentially felt like the end. Like, after that, I was done. I was out of energy.
Yeah. This could have been a good button, or like a mid credits roll promo after the last match tonight.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Because we had Athena in her wrestling school saying, "Oh, the minions are there. I'm not there, but I'm here with my other minions. I'm doing great." And then running down why she's been not there for a little bit, even though she was there all year carrying ROH on her back. As all the other male champions got shipped off to AEW, or had been there the whole time. And yes, she deserved her flowers for it. It was great, and you're not paying attention as much to what's going on in the ring. And all of a sudden, Nyla Rose shows up out of nowhere and wrecks the entire school.
I had written down the note that this promo just again highlights how good Athena is before Nyla Rose even came in, and then watching her just destroy everybody and just made people flinch and scare them out of the room. Yeah. I'm here for this feud. This is a great way to introduce. This is a great way to build to it. I'm all for this.
And she's really great at redecorating. It's wonderful to put that that door there that you can go through.
Yeah, I thought it was a fun promo. I was happy to see Athena, and then when Nyla Rose showed up, it was just, I was like, all right, this is clearly going to be the next feud for Athena. They're going to be building this up as she kind of recovers. I'm here for it. I would love to see, Athena versus Nyla Rose, and if Nyla is a big threat to Athena. She's huge compared to Athena, so Athena having to fight a beast like that, I think could make for a really good challenge of her either retaining her title through that or Nyla dethroning her. So yeah, I thought this was awesome and such a good way. Like, I felt, like I said, this card kind of set up a lot of things for 2024 for Ring of Honor. This did exactly what it felt like it was supposed to do. Like, okay, now we see who's next in the women's division.
Yeah. Broken record. Nyla Rose and Athena. Seen them very sparingly in AEW. Wanted to see more of them. I was happy that it was when Athena came on. I was like, oh my God, it's Athena, and her promo, great promo work by her. I was, because again, I've only seen her in AEW where she hasn't done promos. This was it sold me. I was like, wow, that's great. And then when Nyla Rose showed up, and I didn't think it was a promo. I thought it was like a pre-taped match going back to hunting down Stone Cold Steve Austin type situation. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I thought. So it was good. It was great. And I'm excited.
I'd watch that match with Athena and Nyla Rose in a supermarket, going at it. No, totally. I'd watch that in a second.
Yeah,
and
right.
Also, Nyla Rose got to play into her personality, which is that kind of, she's so goofy and so funny, and she just took it and had a great sense of humor about the fact she's wrecking people's butts here. It's just so good.
Yep.
They need her on commentary with Evil Uno. It'd be a lot of fun. Just like in Uno's promotion. If you haven't seen that stuff online, try to find the Patreon for it. It's so good. I'm saying that because we don't want to get into the next couple. I was disappointed in the next match, which was Christopher Daniels versus Lee Johnson, because Daniels is on his retirement tour. He's putting over all these young stars. And the problem that Big Shotty Lee Johnson has had is that while he's technically savvy and he's really interesting in his moveset, he has no charisma or personality to back it up. And so he squanders all these big things as being kind of just bland.
I wrote down, I was happy to see Christopher Daniels get a win, but the match felt so flat to me. And I'm just agreeing with what John said. Lee Johnson, he doesn't give me anything to latch onto to find him interesting. To me, the most interesting thing about him is his wife.
Should we spoil that for Adolfo? Or?
Oh yeah, he's married to Julia Hart.
What?
Revelation!
Like as of 2 months ago or something like that.
Yeah, they just
recently got married.
Wow. Okay. Good to know.
Did you actually not know that?
I seriously, I'm learning so much tonight. This is ridiculous.
Wait, no, I can do it.
I did a thing.
I did a thing.
I'll get my thing soon.
I felt like this was Daniels was wrestling a match to teach Lee Johnson. It felt like an instructor working with a student. And not in the fact that Lee Johnson is not skilled or anything like that. It just didn't have the feeling of a match. Like, it was almost more like sparring, kind of, like hard sparring.
This was a vet walking what looked like a green-ish wrestler who's got some talent through a match for TV. Like, you've never done a TV match before. I'm going to basically call you through it. And it was a little underwhelming, is basically what it ended up being.
Yeah, I think, to your regards about Lee Johnson's charisma, I feel like Lee Johnson would be better served being placed on a tag team with someone who can keep up with his skills for the most part, but compensate for some of his lack of skills in other areas, or help him develop a character that the team has. I was surprised.
Stick him in the Mama's Boys.
The third Mama's Boy.
The half brother.
Yeah. I was surprised Johnson didn't win because he's now, I think, lost 2 in a row if you include getting eliminated from the TV title match at
First.
Yeah. But before that, he beat Josh Woods to get into that match. So it's kind of frustrating that they gave Lee Johnson a win over Josh Woods for a title shot, and then after that, they just have him return to taking losses from everybody. It's just
that's called a 0% ROI.
We're watching ROH. Anyhow, we moved. It's what it is there. Adolfo, did you glean anything about this? Seeing an old vet like Daniels go into this?
No, you all pretty much said my thoughts. You know, was it an enjoyable match to watch? Yeah. Was it boring and stale? Yeah. So, you know, like I'm like as a wrestling fan watching like the technicality, it was good, but other than that, it was just like
no stakes, and the crowd was behind Daniels the whole time, so it was good to see him get a win there. But we went from there to our main event, the Infantry taking on Shane Taylor Productions for Pride, and they're in a 2 out of 3 falls match, which again, this was set up on the night. There were no stakes in this. Why it was 2 out of 3 falls. They were trying to shoehorn in some sort of like background story with it through the promos, I guess, on this because no one knew about this, and it just didn't take.
I'll give you my highlights, okay?
That's the
Sorry, the list is very, very small, so it's hard to remember it up here. So, Infantry had new gear again. It's not as good as their white gear. And the Gorf Splash, the kind of inverted backwards frog splash. And I'm out.
The Gorf Splash.
I will say, first of all, the Infantry is such a good tag team. So good. They're one of the best tag teams in Ring of Honor. I would have much rather have seen this be a match between the Infantry and 5 other tag teams that we could have picked out of Ring of Honor. Any one of them would have been, I would have rather seen them against. I was hoping for more excitement because when I saw the match listed, I was like, oh, why? And then I saw it was 2 out of 3 calls, and I was like, okay, now maybe something interesting will come out of this. And not really. There wasn't anything exciting. There was no drama to those 2 out of 3 falls or anything along those lines. And I really, 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 really hope that Shane Taylor Promotions is getting a big tag team push, because if they're not, I'm going to be even more irritated with their recent wins over other established tag teams. Like, they're beating tag teams that should be racing for that title and wrestling other established tag teams.
I was thinking as you were saying that, I hope they don't. I said it to myself, but I get why you want that, because make it make sense. I'm totally on board with you, Andrew.
Yeah, to me, this match felt really clunky. I was excited that it was a 2 out of 3 pinfall, you know, and I was again expecting more, more drama, more. I was expecting more. You could totally tell, and again, as a first-time watcher, you can tell that the Infantry and the STP that they know what they're doing. So why it felt so clunky, like at the end, I was just like, why was that ugly like that? I don't get it, which is sad. I feel it, if this was reshuffled in the card, as we've said over and over, if this was reshuffled in the card, I feel like it would have worked a lot better. But yeah, and I don't know. Like, it also felt like the announcing table and like just generally everything when that match when that match came on was just like, and then they didn't have the energy to like pick everything up, because there have been some matches where the show starts petering out, and then like the final main event comes on, and that main event, like the two combatants in that main event are able to like bring that energy level back up for that final match, and this just didn't do it, and I was bummed. Because
it's always surprising to see Caprice and Ian not be able to carry a match that maybe could have used them as well. They're always known for, even on the mediocre matches, making them feel big feel on that type of thing, and they even just couldn't get out of this black hole that was it.
I mean, I can understand them struggling because they essentially had to do it for 3 matches, not just 1.
Exactly. Well, by that part, we had no after credit scene, no after credit promos, no beat up by the Devils folk. We came to the end of ROH, and I would love to know on our empanada scale how you all felt about tonight's matches and tonight's card. So we'll start with Jesse, go to Andrew, finish up with Adolfo and myself, and we can get that set there. So Jesse, how'd you feel?
Do you mind if I go last tonight?
We'll rearrange the whole thing. We'll cut that out. I'll redo it again. So instead of that, we'll go Andrew, Adolfo, myself, and then Jesse. Just keeping going in the round robin.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I actually like the multi-person matches for what we got from them, because I felt like they were showcasing a lot of people who are Ring of Honor staples, and a lot of them played to furthering the idea of like chasing titles. I thought it was a good start for the new year of kind of setting up a lot of really good things as we go forward. With Ring of Honor, there were some hiccups and hard spots that I think we could have done without a couple promotions and rearranged some of the card a bit. But overall, I thought it was a solid card. I gave it a 7.9 out of 10. Just a couple of things brought it down, but gives it a B-, I guess. So
nice.
So are we using the 2024 Bi-Conics 10 empanada scale?
As far as I know, Jesse's going to do his own things, but it's okay.
As I have said, I do not leave partial empanadas. I eat empanadas whole. This, I'm giving it for all of the hiccups that it had, and for all the things that I was not happy with. I give this an 8 out of 10 empanadas. It was, like I had said in the beginning, it was enjoyable. There was not one moment where I like looked at my watch, was like, when are we wrapping this up? A lot. And being a first time watcher, a lot of the storylines, I'm hooked, and I'm like, I want more. So, which I think is why like the back end stuff disappointed me so much, because I was like, oh, there's so much good stuff going on. Why couldn't you had so much potential? So, but 8 out of 10. We'll watch again next week.
You better watch it next week. I'm giving this one a solid 7. It had some growing pains that needed to happen, but honestly, enjoyable night of wrestling, and better than Dynamite was overall. So, putting it out there.
Wow.
All right, I'll give it a 7 as well, which is more than I wanted to give it, but to me it comes down to the women's division. I've been talking about it, I've been lamenting it. The women's division is not being booked well in pretty much any of the promotions. Ring of Honor was like the one crown jewel in that. Oh no, I can't use that phrase, can I?
You can definitely use that phrase. You can use that
It's
phrase.
just like the one shining jewel in the just amalgam of crap that there is for the women's booking out there.
The Burger King crown?
Yes, in the Burger King crown. But what was tonight? What are we doing? We took like 14 steps backwards with the women's division. So I'm going to call out the Ring of Honor producers here, because I don't know. This felt like very much a Tony type move on not booking the women. So I've been kind, I've been good, I've been kind, but it's just, you can't whisper in people's ears anymore and expect them to understand you or to believe you. You have to pry their eyes open and force them to watch. I'm telling you now, your women deserve better. Please do not do this again.
You should check out TNA. They've got a pretty good women's division over there.
What's TNA? Is that another
We keep hearing about this. I have no idea.
It's brand new. It actually started with the new year.
I heard they had some cool looking new belts as well.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that promotion makes an impact then.
Ooh,
Oh!
It'll turn into a global force and then go away. It's really what it's going to be. But that has been the Bi-Conics Review of Honor, the Bro. Stick your hands in, gentlemen. Thank you for doing this. Observe the Ring of Honor Code of Honor. For Jesse, for Andrew, for Adolfo, thank you for joining us tonight and jumping on the ROH train. And
Thank you for having me.
JBL. We love that you watch it with us. Keep watching ROH. Keep supporting them so they can get better at this. But always remember that you, out there in BC WrestlePod land, are Bi-Conic. We're all Bi-Conic together, and we all are honorific because we love Ring of Honor. And we'll see you in the next video.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Maybe a pierogi or something like that. That's fine. That's fine. So,
Not even Polish.
Everyone loves a good pierogi. Anyway,
Calzone.
yeah, pizzo.
Would appreciate cheesy gordita crunch.
Yummy.
I mean, that's much more white than you are, so it's okay.